Hey everybody, it's Steph from the High Moving Podcast. I bet Bill Haney is probably crying right now with the news of Ryan Garcia. Right? He was so hoping that, this is true and my son, had a disadvantage because Ryan Garcia was juicing. When this whole story broke, I think a lot of people had questions. I had my questions initially because I was like, I'm not watching the fight again. Skill for skill, wasn't even close. Okay. And I was like, man, I don't know how much of an advantage this really gave Ryan Garcia. Okay. But, this reporter, Rafael, he had his insiders, or he had his sources, and he was quick to, report and say that Ryan Garcia tested positive for a PED. Everybody ran with it. I ran with it. I'm guilty of it. Okay. Even though I had my questions, I was like, okay, Rafael is a respected reporter in boxing when it comes to these testing, doping situations. We don't got the sources he got. Okay. And come to find out, his sources did, come through, and it was verified that he had, he tested positive for a couple of things, right? Or at least definitely for the Ostarine. Okay. The problem I have with that is that, nobody from the doping agency or anything like that said anything. Okay. They didn't come out and say Ryan failed or whatever. This reporter was the first one to pounce on it. He got the attention. He got all that stuff. I believe he did a sit down interview with a lady or whatever, talking about, he knows this type. He specializes in this type of reporting and everything like that. So not everybody had enough to really, to challenge him. Right. And this is basically all coming from him. And it made massive headlines, right? Ryan Garcia is trolling on Twitter, and looking back, it was funny, right? Or X. Looking back, it was pretty funny, right? So Garcia has been cleared for one of them. Lab results confirm that Ryan Garcia did not have nandrolone in his system prior to his fight against Devin Haney on April 20th, but he still could be on the hook for another banned substance, Ostarine. So his lawyer spoke out and said that we're dealing only with a known supplement contaminant in the billionth of a gram range that provided Ryan Garcia with no performance enhancing benefit whatsoever for the fight, Chavez said. Garcia will have his B sample tested on May 22nd. This is what Garcia had to say. He says, so y'all realize I didn't fail the test. Now, no substance other than this imaginary ostrich substance, level so low, wouldn't have any effect. They tried, but no last stands. Praise God. I'm happy for Ryan. Good. Because we all witnessed that beatdown that he did. And it would have been very unfortunate for levels that would have been his system to give him an advantage, but clearly that's not the case. So he's been cleared of one PED, and the other one, Ostarine, it was barely. To me, it sounded like, man, nothing in his system at all, right? So, and people had questions on just the testing, if he was tested the day before the fight and it triggered levels of Ostarine in his system, then why was he allowed to fight? There was a lot of questions and debate about what was going on in that whole process. People still probably got questions, right? That need to be answered as it relates to that. But for the amount that was in his system, like his lawyer said, not enough to give him an advantage. So what was the whole point? So this guy, Rafael, did he know that? Did he know those levels? Did he know that amount? Right? Did he know that to report that, or just he tested positive for Ostarine and that's what they gave him, right? That's what it sounds like to me, man. And maybe he didn't do a full enough due diligence because, again, it seemed like the agency, if this was something like, okay, fine. If this wasn't public, right? He tested positive, okay. We're not going to report on this yet. We're going to wait for the B sample, okay? And clearly, you know, it being a billionth of a gram in his system, and I'm sure he gets the B sample, it might be even less, you know? So therefore, it's possible that it's like, null and void, you know? Like, this is not enough to even, you know, flag this. You know, that's just my opinion. That's my guess, you know? So I'm not going to put this on the agency for trying to, you know, cancel or try to invalidate Ryan Garcia and tarnish him. But all this, you know, coming from that reporter, just seemed bad. Seemed whoever leaked it to him didn't give him the full information. You know, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, did the agency come out before? I mean, I don't think the agency came out before the reporter did, right? And then fast forward about a week later, it's only a billion, with the lawyers saying for Ryan Garcia, you know, that it basically wasn't an effect, you know. So odd how all this played out, but it's looking like Ryan Garcia is pretty much vindicated and in the clear. Let me know what y'all think about all this, and just the reporting from Dan Rafael, you know, the insider specialists on PED tests and stuff like that. And you know, the fight itself, Ryan Garcia clearly winning. Do you think there was enough? I mean, it clearly that's what his lawyer is saying. So I never thought it was enough. To me, just the eye, like, again, I'm gonna fall back on the eye test, man. I was like, man, it was a thorough ass kicking. That was it. You know, I mean, maybe I'm a little cynical. I don't care what amount was in his system or whatever. He dominated the fight, man. You know, but I'm glad Ryan Garcia is cleared and everything, and it does make the trolling a little more funnier when all this was ensuing. So let me know what y'all think, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Sorry for the long vid. I'm out.